made you instantly realize your friend is not a real friend? I thought my roommate Mateo was one of my closest friends. We'd been living together for 2 years, splitting rent on this crappy apartment near campus. Last spring, my sister Emma called me crying at 11 p.m. She'd been in a car accident 3 hours away. Nothing too serious, but her car was totaled and she was stuck at the hospital alone. The doctor said she was fine, but needed someone to pick her up since she was too shaken to take public transport. I had my organic chemistry midterm the next morning at 8 a.m. This exam was worth 40% of my grade, and I'd already bombed the first test. Missing it meant failing the class and probably losing my scholarship. Mateo was sitting on our couch eating cereal and watching Netflix. He had the day off from his part-time job at the campus bookstore. I explained the situation, practically begging him, "Dude, please. I know it's a lot to ask, but you're literally the only person I know with access to our car right now. I'll pay for gas, food, whatever. I'll owe you big time." He paused his show and looked at me like I was interrupting something important. "I actually made plans with Jessica tonight. We've been trying to hang out for like 3 weeks now, and she finally said yes. I really don't want to cancel again." My stomach dropped. "Mateo, she's sitting alone in a hospital room. This is my sister we're talking about. You'd really pick a casual hookup over helping my family." He shrugged and took another bite of cereal. "I mean, it's not really my problem, you know? You'll figure something out. You always do." I stared at him for a solid 10 seconds, waiting for him to laugh and say he was kidding. He just went back to watching his show. I ended up borrowing my study group partner's mountain bike and pedaling 4 miles to the train station with a backpack full of phone chargers and a change of clothes for Emma. The train took 3 hours each way, and I spent $60 I didn't have on tickets. When I finally got to the hospital at 2 a.m., Emma was exhausted and scared. We took the first train back at 6 a.m., and I barely made it to my exam. I was so tired I could barely think straight, but somehow managed to pull off a B-. Mateo was still asleep when I got home that afternoon. When he finally woke up around 3 p.m., he didn't even ask how everything went. "No. Is your sister okay?" Or sorry, I couldn't help nothing. A week later, I was grabbing coffee before my shift at the campus library when I overheard him talking to some guys from his intramural soccer team. He was laughing and gesturing with his hands. Yeah, Liam's so dramatic about everything. Like last week, he was freaking out over some family thing and expected me to drop my entire day to help him out. Dude acts like everyone should revolve around his problems. One of the guys asked what happened, and Mateo continued. His sister had some minor fender bender and needed a ride. He's acting like it was life or death, begging me to drive 3 hours to get her. I'm like, call an Uber or something. Why is that my responsibility? They all laughed. My chest felt tight like someone had punched me. That night, I confronted him about it. "You told people I was being dramatic. My sister was scared and alone, and I asked you for one favor in 2 years of friendship." He rolled his eyes. "Come on, man. You're being way too sensitive. I was just venting to the guys. It's not that deep." "Not that deep? You literally called my family emergency dramatic. Whatever, dude. You got her home safely, right? Everything worked out fine." I realized right then that Mateo had never actually been my friend. He'd been my convenient roommate who split bills and occasionally watched movies with me. The moment I needed him to actually show up, he revealed who he really was. I moved out 2 weeks later and found a studio apartment I could barely afford. Best financial decision I ever